So, welcome back to the second episode. Uh, if you didn't follow the first episode, you can still go watch it. I will use the same base as the previous episode, but you can also download it like with during the first episode. At this page, you go to release and you have the part 2 there. And here I will add the part 2 link when I will have all the links. So, what we'll do in this episode? Actually, in the last episode, I simply showed how to load the script and the most basic things of the script, but I didn't really explain what is happening under the hood except for the initialization steps. So, what we'll do is first we'll remove this part. And I will explain you several things. First, GSC is what we call event loop VM programming language, whatever. So basically, it's based on events and it's single thread. If it doesn't mean anything to you, it's fine. No one cares about that. It simply means that when you are executing something, if it doesn't end, and if you don't wait something, the game will crash first, but it will never pass to another thing. So for example, if you write while true and let's say you say to the user hello, let's say we'll count. Yes, I assume that you know to code hello, and then you print the number. If you say that like this, it will loop first. You will print hello, it will count 1, you will go next to the next iteration, and so on and so on, and never it will end the script. So the game will basically crash because you are never letting the engine to work again on something else. So that's why in this game we have the wait operators. So you have let's say 3 kinds of operator, but we only use 2 kinds because we don't really care about the third one, which is more a network thing or user. It doesn't really matter. So the first one we already used it there. It's wait. What does wait is it waits for a certain amount of time. This time is expressed in seconds. So for example, if I write 1.5, it will wait 1.5 seconds, and then it will switch to the next iteration. By saying wait here, it will stop the loop and switch to the engine. You can do your stuff, but after 1.5 seconds, you need to go back to me. But another thing which is more accurate, but because it doesn't base on the time, because maybe here in 1.5 seconds you have a lot of scripts running, but maybe you have a shitty computer, and in 1.5 seconds you don't have a lot of things running. 1.5 is really a lot, but let's say you do 1.05 or even less or even more. You don't really know, but let's say you want to wait a certain amount of frames between each iteration. So you have the wait frame function. It takes an amount of frame as the parameter. So what is a frame? It's really simple. It's every time the game will loop. So you will execute the part of the code. Here you will see a wait. So you will stop the script execution and pass to all the other scripts running. Then you will end the frame and pass to another one. So what it does here by saying wait frame 1, it will wait one frame. So basically, to say it simply, it will wait for the engine to run one step of all the other scripts, and then we'll go back to the script. It's a minimum that you can do in a loop without having to crash, but to run actually the shortest time you can. You can actually specify 20 or 200 or 2000, but most of the time it will be wait frame 1, even in the scripts I think it should be that. But for printing it's actually a lot, so we'll stay with wait 1, so every 1 seconds it will print hello to the user. So here it's very good, but we notice that this script never ends. So that's why we have the undone operator, which is literally 2 words, like it ends on something. You need to specify someone calling it, so it can be self if you have a player, but it can also be level for the level itself. For this, for the world itself, you have most of the time end game or game ended. I don't remember which one. And if you go to the player, so self is the player in this context, it can be when the player will disconnect, so disconnect, but it can also be when the player will spawn. So in this context you have on player spawned, but maybe it will die and spawn again. So here you need to stop this one and start a new one where for the next event, like when you respawn. And basically here, when the game will end or when the player will disconnect or respawn, it will end this loop. So now we can compile it and see if it runs. So we compile it by doing the keybind, we reload the mods, we can see that it's reloaded, and we can start the game. In the last episode I added this part here, so it said that the drive time is 2 seconds. What is the drive time is simply the 30 seconds that we had to wait during the last episode. We won't have to wait for it in few seconds. Right now? No. Here you can see 2 seconds. We didn't even have the time to pick a character. And here we can see nothing. Ah, okay. We can see the hello just there. Every 1 second increasing. And if we respawn the player, it doesn't change. Spawn players. Yeah, because I'm a bit stupid. Here you can see that it writes both. So you have 11, 37, 48, 13. Because it didn't cancel. Here I wrote played, but it should be player. So we can leave the match. Recompile the mod. Here it's another issue that I will fix later. We recompile, we press play. It should be faster this time, I hope, because we already load the map. I hope. Let's let's say right now. No. Or not. Yes.
Good to go.
So we wait for the match to begin.
Team deathmatch.
We get the 10 seconds
Weapons free.
for the wait, and here we have the hello counting. And we can see there that if I respawn, I don't have the hello anymore. It has to wait the 10 seconds there. And then it starts again. Because the previous iteration of this one was cancelled by the spawn player. Then we had to wait 10 seconds. And then again 0 every 1 second. And that's mostly it for this episode. If you have any question, I don't think I will care, but you can still ask them below. Otherwise, bye.